Hey YouTube, Spider0804 here, and I've been busy for the past few weeks, mainly on this. This is my tank pack version 2. It is a re-release of my old tanks that I did. I know those tanks have a little bit of a reputation for being laggy. That's mainly due to the aiming chip that they used, which ran like 500 to 800 ops. They don't really work anymore due to ACF changes either, so I did these 3 tanks from scratch. There's been a lot of improvements. These are scaled compared to the Gmod character. Like, I assume that a Gmod character is 6 feet high. SProps correlates this. This is a 72-inch high plate, and I'm about that high. So I scale compared to the Gmod character because it looks nice. Like, you don't get some ridiculously huge thing compared to the character. I know some people might disagree with that, but that's how I do things. Frankly, that's how I've always done things. Aside from that, other improvements are to the models. Like this piece here actually goes over the treads on the PZ4. They all actually have treads. I've standardized the model numbers. This is a PZ4 OSF G. This is an M4A3. There's no E tacked on there, so there's no wide suspension. It's a late M4A3 body, so it has this flat bit here. This is a T-34-76 1943, so you can see it has the 76 gun with the mount for it, and since it's a 1943, it has the improved hexagonal turret. Aside from the model changes, there's been various other improvements. The armor is all correct now. The weight's always been correct, so that's still correct, but the armor on some of the tanks was wrong in some spots. Like, this was not angled enough here on the front of the T-34, and the sides were 45, but they're actually 40. I found out the correct armor values from a World War II information website, so that helped out. The inside of the tanks have been greatly improved as well. The ammo is compartmentalized now, so if one ammo goes, they won't all go. I'm using an ACF chair now. I'm using fuel, so the engines are a little bit more peppy. There's shields for the sides of the driver and the sides of the fuel. There's not one for the back though, so if you get hit in the fuel in the back, it's going to go. Now, they each have different characteristics. The PZ4 still has the strongest gun, and is still the slowest at top speed. It turns the best at low speed. The M4 turns the best at high speed. It's the middle of the pack for top speed, and it has good acceleration. Actually, it has great acceleration. The T-34 is just generally an all-around good turner, but it's not really faster than the other two at any point. And it is the fastest, but its acceleration is kind of lacking. Now, the pack is going to include 2 versions for each tank, a high prop version and a low prop version. If you're on a server and you plan to have like a couple of these out at once, try and use the low prop versions, because the high prop versions, they look nice, but as soon as a shell hits the tank that has explosive content, a lot of those parts go flying, and all of those fiery parts everywhere can be hard on people with older computers. I'm going to spawn an M4 here, low prop version. I'm going to show you how to actually operate the tank. Now, to unfreeze it, I don't know why, but people always try and grab the sides. They might not know what parenting is. To unfreeze it, just look at somewhere that isn't parented, like a wheel, or the gun, or the bottom plate. Just look at any of those surfaces and hit R with the fizz gun. And it all falls. You don't need a double tap R or anything, just R one time. Now to get in, I'm gonna go through that too, because people seem to, whenever I spawn something, people seem to have trouble. You just hold control while you're flying, and look at the seat, and hit E. It's very simple to get in. Now, for this, space, for these tanks, space is brake, but it's also clutch in. So if you're ever like stuck somewhere, just do that, let go of space, and it'll launch you. Shift is zoom. R is to change your ammo. You can see the ammo selector there on the right. F is parking brake if you want to snipe. Left click is to load. You can see while I'm loading, the blue box turns red. There's custom sounds for all of the guns and the coax. Coax ammo is on the left, and ammo for your current shell type is on the right. You can see 17 AP, 11 heat, and 10 HE. They drive a lot more like tanks now. Don't ever forget that your parking brake is on, because you won't go anywhere. There's nothing you generally need to do to make these drive correctly. Just know that, like, the M4 is the worst low-speed turner, so it's kind of crappy at low speed. Kind of crappy at low speed turning. You can see my speed there, right below where coax is. Coax turns red when you're using it, and you can see the gear. That's basically how you drive it. Just remember, shift zoom, R switch ammo, F is your parking brake, space is your brake. And of course, if you ever zoom, try and use your range as the range is right below the chevron. Try and use your range to estimate your shell drop. And you also have those 3 dots there to try and judge it. If for any reason you ever need to change any of the expression or anything like that on here, just hit 4 on the number pad, and you can see under the seat is a protective box for these. Everything is in here. The aimer chip is here, and the chip that actually controls the turning and going and all that stuff is right here. Here's the EGP, the cam controller, the pod controller. Yeah. That's about it for the tank pack. Inside of the zip that these come in, there will be a folder that says old pictures, and I have those pictures mainly because they show ammo velocity and the armor values. So if you're ever curious about the armor values, those are mostly correct. And there will be 3 pictures that I actually based the tanks off of, because I wanted to choose a solid version and go with that. Now, like I said, these tanks are historically accurate. They're designed to be balanced against each other. If you go into a server and someone spawns a 20-ton pancake with a 140mm tank gun, it's not going to fare very well. These tanks are designed to provide a fair playing field and a good fight, which you don't really get a fair playing field anymore if you join a server. People seem to always go the pancake route. Now, if you feel the need to add derpy armor to this, or a really big tank gun or whatever, that's fine. Once these are in your possession, they're yours to do with as you please. Just, if someone asks where the tanks came from, just try and direct them to the video or give them my name. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I hope you have fun playing with these tanks.